we'd love. I think it's amazing. I can't do 3D work.
Me neither.
But I absolutely love the people that can, and just the things they come up with are so strange. So a lot of them so abstract.
Yeah.
Adding that depth to type, I just love it. It's something I wish I could do, but
so who what businesses actually use this concept? Because it seems like super abstract and like hard to follow. Like who uses this?
It depends what area of this 3D design. So there's a lot of companies like I think Dashly.com, there's Nike, McDonald's, Apple. They all use versions of this.
Okay.
Like you just saw up on the screen, like the Nike shoe, like Nike Air Max. There's different companies that utilize 3D design, and it all depends on what their campaign is, what their outcome is, and if they're willing to be a little bit weird, play with some of those like strange, really weird shapes.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more of it.
Kim, she's saying, phew, 3D is a little out of my comfort zone. Us too. That's a tough one. I feel like you have to be really good at things like animation, and I mean, I don't even really know where you would start.
But it's a space that you can always work with a 3D modeler. It allows you to have someone else that you're bringing into a project instead of just being a designer that maybe your focus is something else. You're now collaborating with someone that specializes in 3D. So depending on the client, depending on the work you need done, you don't have to learn it yourself. They always say, like, focus on your niche. Don't try and be the jack of all trades. Don't try and learn everything about each trend. Don't try to be that person.
Right.
Because 2020, 2021 comes, and then there's trends, and you have to keep up with those.
Yeah.
That's not.
It's a never-ending cycle. There was time to roll up the sleeves and check out Skillshare classes for 3D design.
if it's something that you love, if it's something that you can like just dabble in, why not give it a try? But I don't think as designers, as creatives, we need to learn that skill fully. And as entrepreneurs or business owners, you could be looking for, how can you make your company stand out? Is there anyone in the plumbing space that's running campaigns with 3D? Is there anyone?
Do some fun stuff with that, like poop emoji. I don't know. And I mean, this is why we have each other, right? Like, we have a network on Instagram, on social media, on Behance. So if there's somebody who's really, really good, I can't remember this guy's name. It's hard to see. Roman, like we could reach out to Roman and just say, hey, like, we need this one piece, like, what would this cost? And then ask our client if they could increase their budget or something like that. So there's ways that we can collaborate with other creatives and actually create some really cool stuff, and not like sweat that we have to learn this. Not try and feel like it's competitive either. Like, oh, if someone else comes on and does this project, they're taking away from what you can do. No, you're bringing them on, you're collaborating, you're kind of opening up your creative like web and allowing them to work on some projects for some clients that you have. Right. I like that. Are we good? Oh, okay. So apparently we are live on YouTube as well. This is the first time we've ever been live on YouTube. So hi, YouTube. I don't know if you're going to be managing that too as well, but
yeah, we'll be on YouTube for us, managing any of the comments and the he'll be passing us information across the desk.
You're the man. We love you. Hello, everyone joining. So those of you joining right now, we are talking about 2019 graphic design trends. And the first one we just covered was 3D design, which is super cool. We love it. Both Cam and I admit we can't do it ourselves, but we think it's awesome. And brands like Nike are using it. And it's a super cool, fun trend this season. So maybe let's jump into the next one. So this one's one of my favorites. I think this one is really cool because it's using both minimal and vivid design. So that is the trend. It's minimal and vivid design. And minimal's been around for quite some time. A lot of us have been using minimal, but I think like imagine you're in an aisle, you're looking for a product line like a shampoo, and everything is now minimal. Well, how do you stand out? How do you make your product look better? Add some throw some color on there.
Yeah.
And basically that's what the trend is.
If everyone else is paring back too much and they're going minimal and lack of color or like pastels, by pairing that vivid color with the minimal design, you'll have that really clean aesthetic, and you'll have those like really bold, vivid colors to push yourself into the forefront.
Yeah, here's a good example of it. I think a lot about like hair product. They really capitalize on this trend. Super simple, right? Like you don't want to have a ton of information on your product.
No.
So just throw some color on there. So this one's easy. And I love that these trends are basically not really that new. They're just layered through time. So minimal and vivid had a baby, and this is what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the way that businesses are starting to take that minimal aspect and like really push those colors in there. There's a lot of them that are using those like red and blue and like all the primaries at once, and really pushing the bold and vividness of the color while still keeping the information and all like the elements like clutter free, like really minimalistic. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this, and I think this is a really like nice way to make your product stand out, and it's fun. So that is trend number 2. Hi, Sean. Hi, everyone from Okanagan Lifestyle. Thanks for joining. For those of you who are just joining now, we were talking about 2019 design trends. So if that's not something you're interested, feel free to leave or stay, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, because you could learn something. You can find your new passion.
Exactly. Okay, so first one was 3D design. Second one was minimal plus vivid color. And then what's the third one?
So the third one I'm getting into is something that I really think is neat. It's realism plus flat design. So they're taking that like flat 2D space and they're adding in these real objects. So you're getting
is this one? Is this what it is?
Shh, going into the future. This is
okay. This is not what we want. Okay, ignore me, you guys.
Yes. Probably getting them excited though.
Is this
one over?
One over. Okay.
So what you're taking is a 2D space and you're making these objects interact within it. So it's used a lot in web design and it's used a lot in ads.
That's so cool.
So it's like taking a 2D type and then making a 3D object kind of swim in between it. It's creating depth. It's creating like this interest that isn't there. Also, a lot of like product or shoe companies are doing it where they're actually placing their product onto the page or like within the ad with a bit of a drop shadow or making it look like it's floating within the ad. So if you saw it from far away, it's like, is that shoe floating on that billboard or is it actually there?
I mean, it does look a little complex, but I think with a little bit of Photoshop skill, you could probably achieve this.
And that's what it is.
Like
this isn't something that should be out of your realm. As long as you have good product photography, good like object photography, and the skill to just mask things in and out in Photoshop or add those like realistic drop shadows or like floating shadows, you should be fine and it should work really well for you. I think we should see some people practicing this and sending us what they do.
Yeah, I would love to see it. That would be awesome. If you got, yes, please send us a message if you've done any of these trends. We'll definitely share them on
Especially if you do the 3D one, because if you create something awesome in 3D, I want to see this.
Yeah.
Because I definitely can't do it.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's pretty incredible.
I'll send you something back in like realism and flat design.
Kimberly also likes the fish one. Yeah, that one was pretty cool. We like that. Anything else to do with realism and flat design?
No, it's been like widely used in websites and stuff coming up to 2019. And I think it's just going to move more into like product photography and into more of like the print and other 2D spaces that you use that. I've seen it a lot in like homepages and web design, 2018 and 2019.
Very cool. I like it. I love that one. Okay, so 3D design. We've done minimal and vivid color, and that one was realism and flat design. Okay.
Yeah. And if you guys have any questions or any examples of your own, please put them into the comments, because I love learning more, and I love seeing and looking into these inspiration pieces. If someone has a company that's doing this really well, I love looking into those campaigns and like what they're doing. Yeah,
it's super fun. You guys are really creative, and we love having you show us your stuff. So please do. Okay, so number 4, we have eclectic, and this one was one of my favorites. I don't know if any of you ever got in trouble by your parents for doodling in class or from your teacher. Like, I remember coming home and I would have like body tattoos all over me, and my mom would be like, "What did you learn today?" And I'm super embarrassed to say, but I think I doodled in most of my classes.
Same. And my grandma would get me in trouble for the same thing. I'd go over to her house and I'd have I have 0 tattoos, but yet I would always draw on my arm and like make my own tattoos. My grandma's like, "What are you doing to your arm?"
Yeah, but you know what? There's good news, because like doodling is now like a thing that we can get paid for.
Yeah.
And here's a cool example of it. I really like these. I saw these on Pinterest. This is for a campaign for a swim line, and this is super creative. I mean, they basically just took shots of models with bathing suits and just drew, probably like on their iPad or maybe in Photoshop. Super simple, but fun and striking. Like, it really stands out.
Yeah, I used to get in trouble for also drawing on my mom's magazines, kind of like that. Not
Did you draw devil horns on them?
Yeah, like just drawing on people, like changing them around a bit, and you get in trouble. But now that's a style that's being used in advertising, being used in different campaigns to like add this like freehand, a bit of like free flow to these like real structured photos and structured like scenes.
I love it. I see that Sean from Butler Branding joined. Hi, Sean. Thanks for joining. We're talking about design trends, and right now we are covering eclectic design. So I'd love to try this more. I mean, it was fun because yesterday when we were talking about all these things, I noticed all of the designers started creating more of these trends. So we'll show you some of the work that we've been doing.
Just start playing around. It just starts to get in your head.
Yeah.
Because you're so focused on other work and you're not really looking around as much. But once you start to do that, you want to try them out for yourself. See if these trends work with you and with your style as a designer or not. And I think it's awesome.
Sean Scooter, he says, is the 2D or 3D ever used in print with embossing, or is it just online?
So it depends what you're making and what your client's budget is. If you have like objects that look pretty cool, you can actually get print pieces that are embossed. So not only would they look like they're a bit 3D, you can accentuate that by like embossing it a bit. If it's a business card or something that's a little thicker, like a thicker cardstock, you can kind of bring it out a bit. And I think it looks really good.
Yeah, and then some people will put like a spot gloss over it to give it some more effect. One of my favorite designs, I know this is a little bit off topic, but it kind of falls under this. I don't know how many Game of Thrones like fans are here right now, but the intro is insane. Talking about 3D design, like they do such a good job with that. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but when like all of the castle like builds up and it's all of these like moving components, they do such an amazing job. But apparently it took them 2 years to create.
I believe it. I'm not a Game of Thrones watcher myself. Sorry for everyone. I watched like 2 episodes, but
I don't know if we can be friends.
I know. But when I did watch them, that scene, like that intro scene, just brings you right in. It pulls you right into the show. If you were walking by it in like a friend's or family's house, you definitely sit down.
Yeah. Ryan saying that he loves the cogs on the paper building. I know they did such a good job. It's so good. And Tori is saying boo on you.
I know. I
think we should take him down the road and yell shame. Kimberly, I love how it changes every episode based on the location. You know what? I had no idea that was a thing. That's pretty cool. Some people are a little bit more hardcore than I am.
Yeah. They look into every detail of the Game of Thrones.
That's amazing. Okay, so we've covered 4 design trends, and what's the last one?
So the last one is open composition. So it's playing with the notion that like the frame is what we design in, but the scene can sometimes be larger than that. So when you're designing, you have a scene that kind of pulls into frame and then back out. So yes, it makes you feel like there is more to be seen. It's kind of like that mystery, like what more is there? Okay. And it's where like text or objects or full scenes are just bits and pieces you're seeing inside the design. So a poster design of a campaign, of a website, having the text scroll in and then back out. Okay. It makes people interested, I think.
So like for those that are inappropriate, you could have like a picture of a girl who's naked and then just have this cut off, right? Yeah. And then most people are like, well, what's underneath?
Yeah, like what more is there? Or like you could have like a leg coming in like one side and like you could really play with it, and you play with people's perception.
Awesome. That's super fun. I really like these. I feel like I could keep talking about them. So I hope you guys request this stuff. Does anybody have any questions or comments about any of the things we talked about today? We covered open concept design, eclectic, vivid, color and minimalism, realism and flat design, and 3D design. Kimberly says the music is 5-star earworm too. What's earworm?
It just gets in your head, you know?
Oh, okay. Oh, I like it. I like that. I've never heard of that before. Yeah, it's pretty epic. I feel like we need to play it at the office.
We should.
Maybe you'll become a fan if you hear it.
I think everyone here is going to start to convert me over to Game of Thrones.
Ryan says, have you applied any of these trends to anything you've done this year so far? I feel like you've done like some of the eclectic stuff.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like a client or like a certain, like a specific example, and nothing's coming to mind, but I will update you guys if we have anything that we've done that do follow these trends. We'll put it in Tina's story and we'll push it out there so that you can see these trends in action.
One of the ones that I did try yesterday was the realism and flat design on one of our clients. We have a client, they're an international entertainment company. They're called Dragon. So I can show you guys what I did a little bit, but I was inspired by that fish. Mm-hmm. So I'll show you what I did for that. So 1 or 2, not a lot, but typically our clients don't I don't know.
It depends on it depends on the intent, and trends are trends because they've just gained popularity. Yeah. It's not going to fit for every market. If you're just following the trend, you're just the sheep following the herd. I think it's good to know these trends, where it works and where it doesn't, and then play with it. If you have clients that are a little bit more out there, a little bit more adventurous, you can play with this type of design and try and get them more interested and really push these out there. I think they're beautiful. I think especially the minimal vivid color and the realism plus flat design are something that a lot of clients are drawn to, and a lot of clients are accepting of when you do that kind of artwork for them. I think 3D takes a special client and a larger budget.
Mm-hmm. Very large. How large?
Well, Nike Nike did it. And McDonald's, Apple. So it's like, it depends how intently you want to go into the design, because they create a lot of really good, deep 3D textures as well, which I can't make a 3D object. So I don't even know how they get these crazy 3D textures.
Yeah, it's hardcore. There's a lot to learn, but it's exciting. I mean, there's so many amazing things coming out. So I'm curious to know like how things are going to evolve.
Yeah, totally.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you coming out. And also we want to know what you want us to talk about next. We have a few new guest speakers coming in the coming weeks, which we're excited to talk to you about. But we would love to know what you want to hear from us so we can cover those topics. And it's really important. So we love you guys. Thank you. We really appreciate you.
And send us a message with what you think of this new little setup we have going on, what you think of the design trends yourself, and any examples of your own work or work you've seen out there with other companies of these design trends in action out in the wild.
All right.
All right, guys.
Peace out.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right. I think we're done.
How's YouTube doing?
Are we still on YouTube? Oh, we are.
Facebook Live.
And Facebook, we're all over the place. Uh-oh.
So here,
Wow.
let me end this one. So you've been live for 20 minutes, then no one's joined because no one's following this board. So there we go. End stream.
And are we still live on